So today our lesson is on numbers. Just like I already mentioned in the last session, I said numbers in Luvale. Luvale is a language of numbers. Yeah, it's very easy. It's a mathematical language. You're going to see from what we're going to, how when we start learning, we're going to see from what we're going to do, and you are going to agree with me that Luvale is a language of numbers. So without wasting much time, we're going to start with our numbers. Today we'll look at 1 to 20. We're going to look at 1 to 20, our numbers from 1 to 20. So our numbers from 1 to 20, these are, I will not say these are the most important numbers, but these are very cardinal numbers, which if you know them, they're going to help you to know all the numbers in Luvale. You can count from 1 to 1 million. If you know by heart these numbers from 1 to 20. So let's start our lesson for today. Numbers 1. How do we say 1 in Luvale? 1 is kamwe. Kamwe is 1. Kamwe, chimwe, chimwe is 1. Chimwe is 1. And there are also, sometimes it depends, these are the general numbers, just general counting in Luvale. General counting in Luvale. But there are also times when we use kamwe. I'll also explain in what cases do we use kamwe to refer to 1. So, but in general, 1 is chimwe. Chimwe is 1. Chimwe, 1. 2, vivali. Vivali. 2, vivali. 3, vitatu. 3, vitatu. 4, viwana. 4, viwana. 5, vitanu. 5, vitanu. 6, vitanu na chimwe. 6, vitanu na chimwe. 7, vitanu na vivali. 7, vitanu na vivali. 8, vitanu na chimwe. 8, vitanu na chimwe. 9, vitanu na viwana. 9, vitanu na viwana. 10, likumi. 10, likumi. The numbers from 1 to 5, these are like the base or the basics of Luvale numbers. So all the numbers in Luvale, or most of the numbers in Luvale, they build up from these numbers from 1 to 5. From 1 to 5. So these 1 to 5, these are like the foundation of the numbers. So all the numbers, they build up from 1 to 5. Just like you've seen, 1 is chimwe. 1, chimwe. 2, vivali. 2, vivali. 3, vitatu. 3, vitatu. 4, viwana. 4, viwana. 5, vitanu. 5, vitanu. Let's start from 6. 6, we see that 6 in Luvale is vitanu na chimwe. Vitanu na chimwe. What do we see here? We are seeing a pattern where we see 6 in Luvale, we say 5, which is bitanu, plus chimwe, which is 1. So in Luvale to say 6, we say 5 plus 6, which is 6. 5 plus 6, bitanu na chimwe. Then you have, that's how you say 6 in Luvale. Then we come to 7. 7 is bitanu na bibali. Bitanu na bibali. What do we see? It's like we're adding 5 plus 2 to make 7. 5 plus 2 to make 7. 8, we have bitanu na bitatu. Bitanu na bitatu. What do we have? 5 plus 3. We make 8. Bitanu 5 plus, which is na bitatu. We make 8. 9, we have bitanu na biwana, which is 5 plus 4. We make 9. 10 likumi. 10 likumi. Thank you. Before we proceed, do we have other questions? Do you have any questions?
You said you'd explain on 1 being kamwe as well.
Okay, 1 being kamwe, in many cases, we refer to when you are referring to little things, like the little things, like maybe you little counted things. I can give an example. Maybe if you are counting maybe seeds, maybe maize seeds, then you can't say chimwe. You can even say chimwe, but you can also say kamwe, tuvali, tutatu, and all that. Meaning kamwe, we use kamwe, this form of counting of kamwe, tuvali, tutatu. This, in many cases, we use it when we are counting little things or small things, small countable things. But numbers in general in Luvale, this is how we count numbers. Chimwe, bibali, you can use this to count anything.
Yesterday, I heard people counting on the examples. They would say Nachivali. They would put chi, Nachitatu. I don't know if I was hearing correctly. No. But like, for example, example 1, to say, yeah.
Chinjikizo chakawanga.
Okay.
Chinjiki, that is like, those are called, is it ordinary number counting, where you say the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and all that. So that's now when you're counting in that manner, that's when you say now chimwe, like the first chimwe or chakavanga, chinjikizo chakavanga, chamchuvali, chamchitatu, chamchuana, chamchitanu, and all that. So like firstly, second, third, and so on.
Okay, so I'm preparing a slide on those first, second, third. Okay, so as you go on, I'm in the background. I'm preparing that so that we see what our tutor is trying to say.
Yeah, you namtukafa kwa CHIKUMA mane when that is prepared.
I'm doing that just now.
Okay, thank you so much. So
thank you.
Before we go to another session, we go to another slide. Is this clear? Or do we have questions? If you have questions, me, I love interactive classes. I love interacting. So, if you're not clear, I'm here. I can repeat myself even 10 times, 20 times, yeah, so that we can move at the same page together. It's okay? Thank you. Let's go to our second slide. Our second slide, we're counting today. Mostly we're going to focus numbers from 1 to 20. 1 to 20. We're going to focus 20. Then the other day, we are going to build up from there and go on numbers as we know them. Actually, they're countless. We can't even count them. They go on and they're infinity. So 11 is Rikumi Nachimwe. So let's pay attention. Numbers from 1 to 5, I say these are the basic units of numbers or building blocks of numbers in Luvale. So they are the building blocks of numbers in Luvale from 1 to 5. When we know those numbers, they're going to help us to build up on other numbers that come. Chikaho, if we see here, from 11, from 5 to 10, from 5 to 9, we saw that numbers were building up on 5. So from 10 going forward, we're going to see numbers building on 10. Numbers will start building on 10. So 10 is Rikumi. 10 Rikumi. 10 Rikumi. 11 Rikumi Nachimwe. 11 Rikumi Nachimwe. 12 Rikumi Nabibali. 12 Rikumi Nabibali. 13 Rikumi Nabitatu. 14 Rikumi Nabiwana. 15 Rikumi Nabitanu. 16 Rikumi Nabitanu Nachimwe. 16 Rikumi Nabitanu Nachimwe. 17 Rikumi Nabitanu Nabibali. 17 Rikumi Nabitanu Nabibali. 18 Rikumi 18 Rikumi Nabitanu Nabitatu. Rikumi Nabitanu Nabitatu. 19 Rikumi Nabitanu Nabiwana. 20 Makumi Abali. 20 Makumi Abali. Let's go, let's review them. So 11 is Rikumi Nachimwe, which is simply 10, which is Rikumi Luvale, plus 1. Chimwe is 1. So to say 11 Luvale, we say 10 plus 1, which is Rikumi Nachimwe. We come to 12. 12 in Luvale is 10 plus 2. 10 plus 2, which is Rikumi, which is 10 plus na vivali, 2. So 10 plus 2. 13, 10 plus 3. In Luvale, Rikumi na vitatu. Rikumi na vitatu. 14 Rikumi na viwana. 14 Rikumi na viwana, which is simply 10 plus 4. 15 Rikumi na vitanu. Rikumi na vitanu, which is 10 plus 5. Then if you've noticed, from 15, numbers start building from 15 going up. So we start adding from 15. We start adding from 15. 16 which is likumi na bitano na bibali. Likumi na bitano na bibali. 17, that's 17. 18, likumi na bitano na bitatu. Likumi na bitano na bitatu. That's 18, which is simply 15, which is likumi na bitano plus 2. So 15 plus 2, which is likumi na bitano, which is 10, likumi na bitano, which is 15, plus 5, plus 3. So we have 18 as 10 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2. 18, 10 plus 5 plus 2, which is 18. 10 plus 5 plus 2, 18. Then we come to 19, which is 10 plus 5 plus 4. 10 plus 5 plus 4. So, likumi na bitano na biwana. Likumi na bitano na biwana. 17, likumi na bitano na bitatu. 16, 17, likumi na bitano na bibali. 16, likumi na bitano na chimwe. 20, makumi abali. Abali, this is another way to say 2. So in this case, we are saying makumi abali. This is plural. Makumi abali, meaning 2 tens. 2 tens. Makumi abali. Makumi abali, meaning the plural of likumi limwe. Likumi limwe, that's 10. Likumi, 10. So now to say 2 tens, you say makumi abali. If we are to say 30, we will say makumi atatu. Makumi is the one which is making the numbers also change their pronunciation, which is at. It's starting now, the numbers are starting with a. Makumi abali, 20. 30, makumi atatu. 40, makumi awana. 50, makumi atano. So makumi brings in this a, wali, a, tatu, awana, atano, and they go on. So, all right, TUNASAKWILILA. I'm requesting if we can, if we have questions. If you have questions,
on number 10, instead of saying we say vitanu na vitanu.
or number 10, can we say vitanu na vitanu? That's the question. All right.
Yes.
Okay, I know. Okay, that one, unless if you're doing mathematics, you say, okay, maybe they say 5 plus 5 equals to 10. Yeah, that one, they can say, okay, vitanu na vitanu, you have to say likumi. But 10 in Luvale, we say it's likumi. That's how we call, we call 10 in Luvale. That's how we say 10 in Luvale is likumi. So, in as much as you can add other numbers to make 10, it will still remain likumi. Just like the way it is 10. Even if you say 5 plus 5, your answer will still be 10. So 10 in Luvale is constant. We say likumi.
Okay, so Emata,
Thank you.
I've sent the slides. I don't know if you can check them out.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Mata.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Mata, for the slides. If there are any other questions before we go to the other slide, I'm kindly inviting them so that we can move at the same pace. TUNASAKWILILA. I can see some people are trying hard to join, but maybe the connection is bad. Sorry for that. Yeah, so are the numbers, are we able to count from 10 to 20, or from 1 to 20? From the lesson that we've had, can we confidently count numbers from 1 to 20? Someone just to acknowledge, to admit, say yes, on behalf of everyone.
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yes, we can, but not confidently.
Not confidently. Okay, I love the honesty. Yeah, so numbers, of course, we have to practice. That's how we are going to know them by heart. We have to know them by heart. So these are the numbers in Luvale. Of course, we're going to build up from these numbers so that we know all the numbers. We can count any number in Luvale just by combining other numbers. Just like I said earlier, Luvale is a mathematical language. You know, if you're Luvale and you have problems in mathematics, and no, we have to first make a review. We have to take you for, we need to find out, because Luvale is a mathematical numbers, is a mathematical language, I mean. So as a Luvale, you have to be good at mathematics. Yeah, that's just the fact, because it's a mathematical language. Thank you. So we'll go direct to another slide, our last slide for today. Mr. Banda made a request on, he had, when our teachers were, they were giving examples, as they were citing examples, they were saying, oh, chinjikizo, which is an example, simply an example, chinjikizo. In Luvale, we say, an example in Luvale, we say chinjikizo. So you heard them say chinjikizo chakawanga, chipwe chatete. So we're going to look at those things also. So now, are those, how do we mention, or how do we say first, second, third, and all, and so on? So in Luvale, if you want to say first in Luvale is chakavanga chipwe chatete. Chakavanga chipwe chatete, meaning first. First is chakavanga chipwe chatete. Maybe you can, even maybe you want to say something, you can even say, okay, first, you say chakavanga. You can even say, okay, before I do this, you can even say now, chakavanga in Luvale, you can now start your conversation. Chakavanga, let me tell you about what had happened. Firstly, let me tell you what had happened. Chakavanga chipwe chatete. First is chakavanga chipwe chatete. That's how we call first in Luvale. Chakavanga chatete. They mean one and the same thing. Second, chamchuvali. Chamchuvali is second. Chamchuvali, second. Third, chamchitatu. So all these are coming from numbers. If you're able to know numbers, you can easily connect to say, oh, chamchitatu, this means, okay, this and that. So chamchitatu is third. cham chitatu is third. Fourth, cham chiwana. So the cham is the one which is making it to be ordinal or ordinary numbers, ordinal numbers. Fourth, cham chiwana. Cham chiwana. Fifth, cham chitanu. Cham chitanu. Fifth, cham chitanu. Cham chitanu. Sixth, cham chitanu nachimwe. Cham chitanu nachimwe. So we are seeing all these are coming, it's recurring. These that it's like we are adding. Cham chitanu nachimwe. Sixth, cham chitanu nachimwe, meaning the fifth plus the first. So cham chitanu nachimwe. That's sixth. Then seventh, cham chitanu na tuvali. Cham chitanu na tuvali. Cham chitanu na tuvali. Cham chitanu na tuvali. Eighth, cham chitanu na vitatu or na tutatu. Cham chitanu na tutatu or cham chitanu na tutatu. Ninth, cham chitanu na tuwana. Cham chitanu na tuwana. Cham chitanu na tuwana. 10th, cham likumi. Cham likumi. Cham likumi. That's our 10th. 10th, cham likumi. Cham likumi. Sometimes the 10th, which is the tithe, you hear maybe if you attend a church which talk about tithe, you do hear them say cham likumi, meaning the 10th percentage or the tithe. So cham likumi, it also refers to the tithe or 10th, which is the 10th of your possession. So first is chakavanga chipwe chatete. Second, cham chivali. Cham chivali. Third, cham chitatu. Cham chitatu. Fourth, cham chuana. Cham chuana. Fifth, cham chitanu. Cham chitanu. Sixth, cham chitanu nachimwe. Cham chitanu nachimwe. Seventh, cham chitanu navivali or cham chitanu natuvali. So these two things, it depends with what you are. Just like I said, the kamwe tuvali and all that, that's another way of counting numbers, but mostly maybe if you're counting little things, just little things, those small things that small in size, or actually small in size. So those small in size things, you now start kamwe tuvali and all those things. But numbers in general, chimwe, vivali, and all that. Just like we've looked at them. The seventh, cham chitanu navivali or cham chitanu natuvali. You are correct. Depending with what you are referring to or what you are counting. The 80th, cham chitanu navitatu or chipwe cham chitanu natutatu. The 9th, cham chitanu naviwana or cham chitanu natuwana. The 10th, cham likumi. The 10th, cham likumi. Thank you. Do we have questions? Tunavihula mwana. A question is chihula. Chihula is a question. Vihula, questions. Tulinavihula mwana. Do we have questions? Do we have questions?
It's very clear to me.
Thank you. Thank you. Mama Doris, do you have a question? Before I start asking questions,
No.
I want everyone to be clear.
No.
To be sure that it's clear, the lesson is clear. Then I'll start asking you questions. We see if it's really clear, if you are being honest, the lesson was clear. So Mama Doris, she said no. All right. Mr.
Okay,
Mwalesa.
maybe just a contribution, Matt.
All right, Mkulan.
Okay, so on these ones, we have first, second, third, and fourth. Okay, so like he said, it depends on what you're referring to. Now let's see, since these words are mostly used when we are referring to living things, right? Maybe we want to refer to people. Okay, an example that I want to give is, okay, he is the second person to come in this house. Is the second person to come in this house. How can we say that? How can we say he is the second person? So it would be wrong if you say ikiye chamuchivali neza muno mzuri. Okay, so you now say the cha there, you eliminate the cha and replace it with wa. So you say ikiye wamuchivali neza. Okay, ikiye wamuchivali. So for example, I'll say, okay, she is the second person to read, okay, or she was the second person to read. How can I say that? Ikie apanga wamuchivali kutanga. Okay, so I just wanted to set a reminder on that one. Thank you, man.
TUNASAKWILILA CHIKUMA man for that reminder. Yeah. So just like Marta has explained, Marta Kaumba, to people, you don't say cha. No, these are just general way of counting, but now they also take the form of the person or of the thing that you're referring to. If you're referring to people, don't make a mistake to say ikie chatete. No. Ikie chatete, no. You say ikie watete. Even the firstborn, you call yourself that I am yamiwatete. So the wa is there. So the wa, to change these numbers to the first, second, when I'm referring to people, watete, or animals, I can put it watete. Wa comes in now to replace the cha. Then you are good to go. Do we have questions, man?
Yeah, maybe another contribution. Yeah. So the cha, we use the cha when you're referring to things. Okay, things like maybe, you know, chitwamo. Okay, chola. Okay, echichikiko chola chamchivali. Okay, echichikiko chitwamo chamchitatu. Okay, so we use cha to I would say non-living things, and then if it comes to living things, animals and human beings, we use wa mchivali, wa mchitatu, wa mchiwana, wa mchitanu na chimwe, wa mchitanu na tuvali, just like that. Amen. Thank you. Marta, are you there?
Hey, man, Kunguli, I'm here. I'm listening.
All right. Wakumi Saman.
TUNASAKWILILA man. Since there are no questions and people have no questions, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask questions, but I'm not going to ask questions today. I'm going to ask questions. I don't know, for those that are new, we have a last week where we to them correctly. Chikaho, I'm going to prepare good questions on this lesson for you. Today I rest here.
Would you repeat? Would you repeat? I think there was network glitch. You said the last week you prepare. Is it a test or what?
Yeah, we actually assess our students, the levels, how much they have acquired from the classes that we've had. So we advise that everyone at least to be reading the lesson that we post, and also to watch the videos, so that if you have questions on any lesson that we've already covered, even hello.
We can hear you, Mane.
All right. Tosakwila Mwane.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Mama Chirombo, you had network problem today.
Yes.
Too bad. Yeah.
I don't know. I've been trying to join and rejoin.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yes.